Hello, YouTube. Alright, so I'm sure a lot of you didn't expect this kind of video to exist, but I'm creating it to explain what happened and how terribly sorry I am for what I did, which was leave you guys high and dry. I didn't really know what to put for video in this, so this is a match of Titanfall 2. I recorded not too long ago, so if anything, maybe you'll enjoy some of that. But the last video I made publicly available was December 9th, 2015, so we're rounding a year on that. My plan was to release this video on December 9th, but you guys have left a lot of really meaningful and heartwarming comments to me, and I really just couldn't wait any longer because I felt so bad for what I did and just leaving you guys out there. So I'm going to try to explain as best I can what happened. There's not really any way I can do this that sums up all my feelings and thoughts about what I did or the future or how sorry I am to you guys, because all of you who have supported me since forever you guys mean so much to me. I've never been able to get that across enough, as it's how important it is to me. I've never been able to express it properly. But let's go ahead and start and explain what happened a whole year ago. So the end of last year was, I don't know if there was anything particular that forced it. I think the biggest thing was YouTubers fatigue, or whatever you want to call it, where I kind of got tired of making videos. It wasn't that I was mad at anybody, or like I wasn't feeling like I wasn't getting enough views or enough money or whatever. It wasn't anything like that. It was just making videos kind of became a chore instead of a hobby or something I enjoyed doing. And the most I had a time. I'm sure you guys could have seen. I mean, you've seen this before. I've taken breaks from the channel for weeks on end and then released a video about how it's going to be changing and everything, and I've tried really hard to keep up with everything, but in the end it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't fun for me anymore. The content I was releasing wasn't satisfying that itch that I had, because I would have itches to make videos. I'd be like, yeah, I'm intrigued to get something out, maybe people can enjoy it, but the type of videos, which was usually just gameplay, wasn't really doing it anymore, and I was getting tired of it. I think that was the biggest reason. So initially it kind of started out as another one of those like big breaks I took, where I would just stop making. Hopefully I would come back reinvigorated and ready to go for more months of happy video making, but this time it wasn't really the case. So this year, 2016, was the start of my senior year in high school. So that was another big thing. I mean, when I stopped, I was obviously not a senior because that's not how school works. But after a while, like, things started piling on, and eventually I did get that itch to make videos again. Like after, or the beginning of 2016 maybe, I was like, alright, maybe it's time to do something about this. But then, life started catching on. Yeah, never mind. Sorry, I was thinking. This is such an awkward video. Anyways, so the senior year of high school started, and what came huge with that year was my first job. And it's not really your classic first job in retail or food service. It was a little more than that, and that actually was something that was also taking up some of my time in the late last year and the beginning of this year. And I started my job around the time I started school. So once that happened, I was going through senior year in high school, which is probably the most important year, plus the start of my new job. And so time I had very little of, and when I did have time, I would not. There was some times where I wouldn't even really be playing video games. I would kind of take a break, and I just chill out, watch YouTube videos, do what I do. But there wasn't a lot of video games that were piquing my interest at the time, so there were times where I wouldn't play games for like weeks on end, and if I did, they were small games that usually little indie games that I'd come back to every once in a while. But there was nothing huge. I stopped talking to a lot of my friends, so I kind of went quiet for a while, for like maybe a month or so. And it's just things my life continued, and there were days where I didn't even think about YouTube and what had happened, and my life was just continuing as normal. But every so often on my YouTube homepage, because I still used and watched YouTube all the time, I would see the little notification at the top right, and it would say +1 or whatever it says, and I would click on it, and usually it'd be a video or a comment on my last video about somebody saying how they missed me, or how they really missed the content I created. And every time that happened, I would like sink. My heart would drop. I'd feel absolutely terrible. Then it reached the point where I would dread seeing that #1 on the notification thing, because I knew it'd make me feel like a terrible person. And I know it's hard to explain what happened and why it happened, but I was like way too scared to say goodbye before, and that was a huge mistake on my part. It felt bad to the people that actually appreciated my content and really enjoyed watching it and enjoyed my personality. I felt I would feel terrible just saying, "Hey, that's it. No more. Goodbye. The stuff you liked, yeah, it's gone forever." I couldn't bring myself to say that to you guys, and that was a huge problem, and I should have been able to do that. But that's what I'm doing now. This isn't a "Yay, the channel's back" video. This is a sincere explanation and goodbye for the foreseeable future. I don't think I will be doing YouTube in the style I have been anymore. Not for a while now, at least, because of my life. School comes college, and I'm sure lots of you guys know the college life. I don't think I won't have time to invest a whole lot of time into content I can be happy with that I'm creating. If I probably could do content, but it would be small little things that I wouldn't really feel fulfilled about, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't be happy with, so that's not something I'm gonna do. YouTube was definitely one of the most important parts of my life. It was kind of my first job. It was the first time I started making money. Not that it was all about money, please don't think that. I said that in a way that but I mean, like, it was a big landmark in my life. I didn't expect it to escalate as quickly as it did. There was a time around StarMade and ICBM where my subs drastically increased. And I didn't really see it happening that quickly. I knew that if I kept at it, eventually I would start drawing a crowd, because that's how YouTube works. The more content you create, slowly people find and enjoy it. But the way it increased so quickly was shocking to me. But what had happened was, the reason it had increased so quickly was because of that specific content, and I got bored of it, and I didn't want to make that content anymore. So that trickled off, so a lot of people left or became ghost subs, and just everything started impacting me little by little, and eventually I just started tiring of YouTube. I think I'm starting to repeat myself, so I'm going to try to wrap this up as you see me slashing a Titan. So I am like extremely sorry for what has happened, and how I didn't explain anything to you guys, just left it off halfway through a gameplay series, which is my specialty. That's what I do all the time. So thank you guys, like, an immeasurable amount, for the support and the heart-fulfilling comments you've left. It's hard for me to read them because I feel so bad about what had happened, but hopefully this offers some closure. for me it was easy just to, because I knew why I had stopped, but you guys don't really know the full story, and it was easy for me to just, you know, forget, try to move on, but that's not the way I should have done things. I should have very much explained things, and let it be after that, which is what's happening now. So I'm gonna wrap this up. There's no easy way to say goodbye, but this is just the way it's gonna have to be. Maybe Titanfall 2 gameplay wasn't the best way to go against this commentary. I hope you guys can move on. I'm sure you'll find plenty of other YouTubers. My videos will be up forever and ever as long as YouTube exists. So if you want to go back, you can always do that. I know a lot of you guys said you've been here since ICBM or my old Minecraft series, so I extremely appreciate all the support you've given me. Titan blows up into a giant mushroom cloud. Alright, goodbye.